right. So on today's class, we'll be discussing about tokens. Ejijon, can you hear me? You can hear me. Say hi. Hello.
Hi, I can hear you. Sorry, my phone was hanging a bit.
Ouch. So bad. So bad. Sorry about that. But I know from this whole Web3 tutorial learning, you'll be able to earn more and get a new device. I can tell you certainly there's a lot of opportunities of them out here in the space. You can hear
Yes,
me.
I can hear you. I said amen. I hope.
Ethereum. Guess what? You also have USDT on Solana. You also have USDT on XRP. You also have USDT on Binance Smart Chain. You also have USDT on Tron. Do you get the concept here? So these tokens, I mean, all these blockchains they cooperate by themselves, with their native tokens and every of it. But tokens really matter a lot because they are the ones that enable decentralized finance, non-fungible tokens, and decentralized autonomous organization and all other web applications. So it is these tokens, they can't, blockchains can't really stand on their own to, okay, just say, okay, I want to do decentralized finance. It doesn't really work out those ways. It is through tokens we get to see the concept of decentralized finance. It is through tokens we get to see the concept of NFTs. It is through tokens we get to see the concept of decentralized autonomous organization, which are DAOs. Okay, and now these tokens they represent the value, the right or utility in a decentralized ecosystem. So I've just given you an overview of what tokens and coins are. But now this is what I'm speaking on. Also, the next thing I'll speak on is the type of crypto tokens. Type of crypto tokens. Type of crypto tokens. And we have different types of crypto tokens. So we have, I think there are a lot, but for today's class, we might focus on five. We'll just focus on five. You've been hearing of non-fungible tokens, you've been hearing of utility tokens, you've been hearing of meme tokens too. You've been hearing of governance tokens, you've been hearing of stable coins. They are tokens actually. Stable coins are tokens, they are not literally coins. Why they are called coins is because of the concept of it being literally a coin in a real-time value coming into the blockchain, coming into crypto. So like we have the United States dollar. So the United States dollar, they came up that they want to have a token and they call it the USDT, the Theta, that's the Theta United States dollar. So it's and they now call it a stable coin. And these guys they are pegged to a fiat currency. So that's another thing that's why it's called a stable coin. But let me start from the first thing on my list. The first thing I'll start from is utility tokens. Now, utility tokens, their main purpose is to provide access to a product service within a platform. They they are just there to I don't know if you know what utility is, but they are just there to serve a purpose towards something. So they provide access to a product or service, and we have Uniswap. That's Uni. That's the token called Uni. Uni gives you an access to their platform or their services or products here. That's the products called Uniswap. Now I could tell you we have. Let me bring it down to um, utility token. Okay, I will not bring it down to this. This is not a utility token, but another utility token could be PNB. Yeah, PNB is the utility token of the company Binance. Can you hear me? All right, sure. I would speak on that founder. So yeah, Binance. Now Ethereum too on its own is a blockchain on its own, and it has utility tokens under it. Like I told you about Uniswap, Uniswap. Uniswap is a token on the Ethereum blockchain. And Uniswap is the utility token for, Uni is the utility token of Uniswap. And Uniswap is a decentralized application. And they have their token too. So it serves as a utility. Now, we also have security tokens. And security tokens they represent ownership of an asset like stocks, bonds for people into the finance industry. And these guys, they are regulated under securities law. Under securities law. See, people that are really into forex will get the concept of this, okay? And stocks and, all those Federal Reserves and bonds and the likes of it, okay? So we have a security token called T0 token. It's a security token. Then we have governance tokens. Now, governance tokens literally are for decentralized autonomous organization. A governance token could be WikiCat. But guess what? WikiCat, I know most of us might have heard of WikiCat in terms of WKC. WikiCat started as an educational token, more like a meme coin to serve as for educational purpose. But along the line, it's the utility token, governance token for SMC DAO. So that's why I could say, though it's not already said that it's a governance token. But let's look at Bonk. Bonk started from a meme token to a governance token. Now, a governance token in the sense that they have a decentralized organization built over it, and now this token is used to give voting rights for anything happening in the organization. Like we have Bonk, we have Jupiter, and I think we have Scales. I think majorly on Solana, they have a lot of decentralized autonomous organizations. But also Uniswap, right? Uni is a decentralized token, so is a governance token for Uniswap. Like I said, also we have stable coins, stable tokens, which their purpose is just to maintain price stability by pegging to a fiat currency. NGN is a stable coin. It's a fiat currency rather. It's a fiat currency, and when it's spelled NGN to USDT, it maintains the price stability by pegging to that naira. So that's why $1 in the real world can be $1 in crypto world. They are trying to maintain price stability across all areas. So be it Web3 or be it Web2 or be it Web5, $1 USDT would be approximately $1 USDT in all those places. So we have non-fungible tokens. Sorry, I think something on the info. Non-fungible tokens. Alright. Okay, alright. Thank you everyone for joining in. Yes, I'll do a recap on everything I have said. So we have non-fungible tokens, and non-fungible tokens, they represent unique digital assets. So these digital assets could be like art, music, gaming items, or probably you have a picture you want to store in the blockchain. It turns to a non-fungible token, and they use the ERC 721 standard across all. Solana have their own standards too, but on the Ethereum standard it's ERC 721. I think on Solana is SPL. I can't really get the code, but I think it's SPL or something. But yeah, so an example of an NFT is Bored Ape Yacht Club, BAYC, Azuki, Mad Labs. There are a lot of non-fungible tokens out there. Then we also have asset-backed tokens. Now, let me go to a recap. So, where we are looking at now is types of tokens, okay? And so far, so good. I've listed about 4 to 5 types of tokens. And we have utility tokens, one, which they provide access to a product or service within a platform. 2, we have security tokens, and they represent ownership of an asset like stocks and bonds. 3, we have governance tokens, And these guys, they just give voting rights to decentralized autonomous organizations. And four, we have stable tokens or stable coins. And what they do is they just maintain price stability by pegging to a fiat currency. Five, we have non-fungible tokens, NFTs. And these guys, they represent unique digital assets, art, music, gaming, and the rest of it all. And currently now, I am on asset-backed tokens. And their purpose, literally, what they just do is they are tokenized versions of real-world assets like gold or real estate. So these are asset-backed tokens. Gold is an asset, whether you like it or not. So even in the Web3 or blockchain or whatever or cryptocurrency, gold is also tokenized. Then we have privacy tokens like they provide anonymous transactions by hiding user data like Monero, like that's XMR, then is it Zcash or something Z something, but yeah, I think that's an example of a privacy token. So that's it on types of tokens. Now what we'll be going into next is token standards and ecosystem, and I'll dwell much more on Ethereum. Yeah, I'll dwell much more on Ethereum. Then Ethereum, Solana, and BNB. Ethereum, Solana, and BNB. Are you guys following me here?
Yes, sir, we're following you.
Alright. Ethereum and BNB. Alright. So for the Ethereum blockchain, we have different standards for Ethereum blockchain. We have the ERC20, we have the ERC721, we have the ERC1155, ERC20, ERC721, ERC1155, and for Binance Smart Chain, we have the BET20. It's just similar to the ERC20. And for Solana, we have SPL, which is like their token standard. SPL, their token standard. It's just like an equivalent for the ERC20 tokens on Ethereum. And we also have NFTs. And their standards are usually based on Metaplex. So now let's go back to ERC20. ERC20. Are you following?
Yes, sir, we're following.
Yes. Okay. So ERC20 is the standard for fungible tokens. Fungible tokens. Now, fungible tokens is just that all tokens are equal and interchangeable. What do I mean? So, I can have 50 USDT, and it gives me an equal amount in what should I use? What should I use? On this here. On this. So 50 USDT can give me equal amount on this because that's fungible, they are fungible. Non-fungible is that these guys are not equal and they cannot be interchangeable. But we're now seeing an innovation where they want to make NFTs fungible. But the truth is, in a bid of trying to make NFTs fungible, is losing its sole purpose because it's supposed to be non-fungible. But now, why would you now want to make it fungible? What do I mean? That you can literally swap an NFT an NFT. I don't know if you understand me. Do you understand? Hello guys.
Yes,
Alright,
yes,
so it's literally beating the sole purpose of non-fungible token. But we'll get into that. For now, like I said, ERC20 is the standard for fungible tokens on the Ethereum blockchain. All of this started from blockchain, cryptocurrencies, from cryptocurrencies to crypto tokens and crypto coins. And like we said, the genesis block is Bitcoin. From Bitcoin, we got to see other blockchains emerging. Mind you, Ethereum is not the next blockchain to be out after Bitcoin. I think there were two other blockchains or one before Ethereum, but Ethereum has gained much prevalence and people term it to be the token the blockchain that comes after the Genesis block. And in each of these things, they come to solve a particular issue. They come to solve different things. So what Bitcoin couldn't solve, Ethereum tried to solve it, and what Ethereum couldn't solve, we saw Solana doing better, especially the speed of transactions, TPS, transaction per second, and runtime of the blockchain, and all of that, trying to make sure that there's speed and flexibility and much more easy to read. So far, so good. Solana is the best blockchain you can read on. Yeah, Ethereum is very complicated still, but if you just take up your Pixie or your mobile device, click on source, scan, paste an address, you can get to see, okay, this was moved from this to this, at this so hash, at this so time. Very easy, shaking out. Was it an NFT? Was it a token? And this is that. But on Ethereum, Ethereum blockchain are literally for those that are into development and solidity. So ERC20 is standard for fungible tokens, and these fungible tokens are tokens that can be interchangeable and are equal, and they are used for most DeFi tokens. So ERC20 standard are used for most DeFi tokens. So let me wait for a little. Okay, I'm back. So the ERC20, like I said, is used for fungible tokens, and ERC means Ethereum request for comment. Ethereum request for comment. It's a proposal for Ethereum standards, and the 20 behind it is just its unique ID for the proposal. The unique ID for the proposal, and the purpose of ERC20, they just create a common standard for tokens. So wallets are able to know how to display them, exchanges know how to trade them, and smart contracts can interact with them easily. So those are the three main things that wallets are now able, and they know how to display these guys. Then exchanges like your centralized and even your decentralized exchanges know how to trade them, and smart contracts can interact with them very easily. Then we have key features of the ERC20, and we have fungible. That's one of its key features. Like I said in its meaning, fungible because all tokens are identical in type and value. Divisible because they can be split into smaller units, and this is defined by decimals. For us here that are, I think every of us we've done mathematics. So decimals 0.00001 to the 100, 0.1111. But non-fungible tokens cannot be divisible. All right, are you following everyone? So we now also have the feature of called interoperable. It works with any ERC20 compatible application on Ethereum. So that is those are its key features, and your head, which is Wisdom Atai says I should speak more on Ethereum, and that's why I'll dwell more on Ethereum before I go into SPL, that's Solana, and Binance Smart Chain. So now there are required functions in ERC20. Now every ERC20 token must implement these functions in its smart contract. There are about 4 or 5 five functions. 5 functions. Let me show you what I mean. Let me go to my ERC Ether scan. Sorry, I want us to have a practical knowledge on this. And as always, I'll give an assessment for this too. I'm so sorry I couldn't get to score the assessment over the week, but probably before the end of this weekend, it should be ready. So I'm trying to go on to Etherscan so that I will share my screen and show you how those key functions, how they work and how they're implemented. I don't know if that's even coming up. Alright, it's coming up. Let me just pick any transaction on the blockchain. I don't know who did this 13 seconds ago, but use that transaction worth 0.0105. That's what it is. From this to this. Okay, let's go to the address site. And if you let me share my screen. Alright, can you see my screen, everyone? Yes. Alright, so you can see this is okay. Now this is the Etherscan, and you can see the features in Etherscan. It shows first the earth price and the gas that's going, that's for gas, and also different things under here. Now you can see the Ethereum blockchain explorer. You can search an address, a transaction hash, a block, a token, or a domain name. I could find here the alright, I could find here the Ether price, the transactions and market cap of Ethereum. Well, this is 522 billion. That billion, not really. Oh, billion. So, and the last finalized block and last saved block. Now you could see the latest block created on the blockchain. Now, like I told you, I explained what blocks are. Now these people are actually giving up their miners, Titan Builder, BuilderNet, Big Builder. They have a series of interconnected computers or nodes or something that they are using to run blocks so that you can actually have safe transactions on the blockchain. So these are blocks, latest blocks, and there are latest transactions by the staff. And I wanted to show you a transaction. I want to show you a transaction here. Let me click on this transaction here so that I'll get to show you its functions. Okay, and function. Alright, so you can see this address was funded by an OTC. That's OTC on the trade counter. Yeah, on trade counter. On the counter rather, on the counter. So it's a private kind of transaction that must have happened. Wow, this guy is a well. This guy is a well, $75,000 in Ethereum. I'm looking for the functions of here. I want to look for a token where we could click and check every function. I don't know why this doesn't come off again after I click on it. Refresh my tab again. Alright, while that is trying to load up, so the different functions is the function called total supply. First the function, okay, it's loaded up. First the function called total supply, and the description of the function that returns the total number of tokens in circulation. Total numbers of tokens in circulation. Okay. Alright, I've seen this here. Can everyone see my screen? Am I audible? Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, sir, you're audible and we can see your screen.
Alright. I'm trying to switch this so that you could see the different functions in here. And one way we could write contracts to on Ethereum. This token apparently to scam because I'm not seeing any function here. Very rubbish token. Let's look for a very good token. Let's say I search for probably this one. Yeah, Uniswap. Good. Search for Uniswap. Now it's a verified contract, so I think we'll get what we need from here. Alright. Right here. Now this is the contract for Uniswap and it's a verified contract. Okay, and there's a read contract and there's a write contract. Write contract is for persons, let's say there's an airdrop to claim and you can't claim directly from the site. You can write contract here and claim directly from the contract. It's key in Web3. You need to learn too. Well, let's focus on the read contract. So I'll show you the functions of the different contracts. I don't know why this is taking time to load. Well, like I said, first is total supply. It turns the total number of tokens in circulation, and there's balance of address. And what balance of address does is it shows the balance. Wow, this is still loading. I don't know why. It shows the balance of a specific address. Then there's a transfer to amount. And now this function, right? What it does, it transfers tokens from the sender to another address. And there's an approved spender amount. And this guy allows another address, like a decentralized application, to spend tokens on your behalf. Then there's also a transfer from. Remember, we had a transfer, and that transfer in brackets. Let me show you how. Let's go to the in-code chat. Let me show you how it's written now. Let me show you how it's written like. Let's go to the in-code chat. Alright. Alright, can you see what I dropped in the in-code chat? So I was speaking on the transfer to amount. Now this transfers tokens from the sender to another address. Now there's now a transfer from to amount. Now this transfers token from one address to another if approved. And there's an allowance owner spender checks how much a spender is allowed to spend on behalf of an owner. Now let's go back to my screen. I think I'm able to see the contract here. I'm able to see the contract. Now you could see an allowance contract here. Can you see the screen? Can you see here? Right. Reacted. So that's an allowance contract. Now there's the delegation type hash contract. There's a domain type hash contract. What I was telling you about the smart contract. So now there's a permit type for a token or whatever to type hash allowance. See that balance of checkpoint decimals. There's specified amount of decimals that this particular token could carry. Then delegate, get current vote, pick where people can vote and delegate tokens. Now there's get prior vote. There's minimum time between mints. There's mint cap. There's a minter contract. There's minting allowed after. There's name. There's nonces. There's non-checkpoint, symbol, and total supply. So basically, you've seen every function I've set there on that contract. So now I'll be going to the next thing. Now there are common ERC20 tokens like USDT, USDC, TI, Shiba Inu, Chainlink, and the rest of it all. So those are common ERC20 tokens. Now there's an advantage of ERC20 tokens. It's just standardization easy to integrate. It's one of the best places to build on as a developer, as an intending developer, where you build, integrate with the apps, wallets, and exchanges, because these guys support it basically. Almost every the app supports ERC20. It is hard, maybe some the apps cannot approve of SPL tokens, but ERC20 are easy to integrate and they have a strong ecosystem because most DeFi protocols they use ERC20. Now there are limitations too. There are limitations to the ERC20 token. You have like the high gas fees, the transactions can be expensive on Ethereum, network congestion because of scalability. So far, ERC20, that's layer 1 on Ethereum hasn't been so much scalable. That's why we now have L2, we have base. In fact, we have layer 3. Funny enough, we have layer 3. And same thing is that these things are not still scalable. So what are you solving? Well, it's fun in crypto, it's fun in Web3 actually. So the scalability issues, network congestion scalability issues affect performance, and the ERC20 is not suitable for NFTs. And the next token we'll go into is the ERC721. That's for the NFTs. ERC721 for NFTs. Are you following? Any questions yet?
No questions. I mean, just that I would say probably still too fast.
I'll get slow. I think I'll work on that. I'll get slow. But anytime I'm slow, you can probably signify something. So I'm fast rather than signify or something. Now, there are 20 tokens, 721 tokens rather. They are the Ethereum token standard for non-fungible token. Remember, ERC20 is for fungible tokens. ERC721 or 721 rather is for non-fungible tokens. And the 721 standard defines rules for creating unique, indivisible. Like I told you about the ERC20 was divisible, but for the 721, it's indivisible tokens that represent ownership of specific assets. Okay? Is that clear? Can we all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Alright. So now the ERC721, like I said, is almost like for the ERC20, and ERC still means the same thing. Ethereum request for comment. 721 is the unique ID, which is used for digital collectibles, artworks, in-game assets, and more. Now they have their key characteristics, okay? And for the ERC721, it's non-fungible, and each token is unique and not interchangeable with another. So two ERC721 tokens might both represent art pieces, but each piece has its own unique ID and metadata. So I can create 20 NFTs that are the same thing, but I'm telling you, each piece of those NFTs are unique. They have their own unique ID and their own unique metadata. So if we go deeply into this, especially on NFTs, I think I'm talking on NFTs too, but notwithstanding, someone talking on NFTs will go deeper into this, what metadata is and the unique IDs for NFTs are. And one characteristic too is that it is indivisible. You cannot split into smaller units. And the metadata support, each token has associated metadata. Another metadata is what really makes up the metadata is image, description, and properties. So we also have how the ERC721 works. Each token has a unique identifier, which is a token ID. Each ERC721 token or NFT, they have a unique identifier, which is a token ID. And the standard defines a set of functions that wallets, marketplaces, and decentralized applications can use to interact with. NFTs. So just like the ERC20 have their required functions and description, the ERC 721 also have their required function and description. Let me just send this into the in-call message where we'll be able to understand properly too. So first of all, the first function is the balance of honor, and it returns the number of NFTs owned by an address. Then there's also, don't worry, I can be fast here because I'm posting it on the income message. We also have the honor of token ID, returns the honor of a specific NFT. And we have the approved to token ID, which grants permission for someone else to transfer a specific NFT. We have the safe transfer from to token ID, and it allows safely transfers, of ownership of an NFT. And we also have the get approved token ID, which shows who is approved to manage a specific NFT. So I've sent it into the in-call chat. That's for the ERC 721. Okay, and they also have their additional feature like the metadata extension, which uses a return link to the metadata. So you will not understand all of these things. These are in-depth things. Okay, that I think when we go fully into the NFTs class, we will get to understand all of this. And we have different kinds of ERC 721 NFTs. Like I mentioned, Bot, Biaj, Azuki, what else again? A lot of is this trending SMB? Okay, no, that's Solana Monkey business. But they are trending NFTs that ring during that time. This MAYC, Mutant Ape Yacht Club. So those are ERC 721 NFTs. And we also have the advantages and their disadvantages and their limitations. The advantages of the NFTs, that's the ERC 721, is that it's unique, their uniqueness for digital ownership, and it supports complex metadata for rich experiences, and is widely adopted by marketplaces like OpenSea, Rarible, and Magic Eden. Magic Eden. Sorry, I'm typing something. Alright. And limitations for the ERC 721 token. One, it supports unique items. That's one token equals to one unique asset. And is not optimized for batch transfers. For batch transfers, you use ERC 1155. And also part of where Ethereum gas fee still has its parts in it. So that is the end of. Okay, I said we'd speak on Solana and BNB, but rather I think I'll give an assessment on Solana, and that's SPO tokens and Binance Smart Chain tokens. So that's the end for our class on crypto tokens and coins. If I majorly crypto tokens, so I will do a brief recap. So if you were not here from the beginning, this is just a brief recap, and I'll be so fast. I'll be very, very, very fast. So we spoke on crypto tokens, and crypto tokens are digital assets built on existing blockchains. Blockchains like Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, Binance Smart Chain. And unlike coins, tokens do not have their own blockchain, but they operate on other blockchains via smart contracts. And we gave the difference between coins and tokens. And coins are native to a blockchain, while tokens are created on top of another blockchain. And tokens matter because it enables DeFi, that's decentralized finance, NFTs, non-fungible tokens, DAOs, that's decentralized autonomous organization, and many Web3 applications. And they represent value, rights, or utility in the centralized ecosystem. We spoke on the various types of tokens: utility tokens, security tokens, governance tokens, stable coins, /tokens, NFTs, non-fungible tokens, asset-backed tokens, privacy tokens, and meme tokens. Now, a recap on few of these tokens, like I said, utility tokens, they provide access to a product or service within a platform, just like Uniswap. And we have security tokens represent ownership of an asset like stocks, bonds, like T0, and they are regulated under securities law. And we have governance tokens that give voting rights in decentralized organizations, still uni is part of it. And we have stable tokens, stable coins, which they maintain price stability by pegging, literally pegging them to a fiat currency like NGN, USD, what tokens are GHR, Ghana cities, and the rest of them all fiat currencies. Example USDT, USDC, and DI. And we have NFTs, which are non-fungible tokens that represent unique digital assets like art, music, and gaming items. And we have asset-backed tokens of utility. So they are mostly like the builders of utility tokens. And we have token standards and ecosystems. We spoke on ERC20 and ERC721. And I said a lot about ERC20, its functions, and why it's ERC20, the limitations and the advantages, and for ERC7212. And before I drop your assessment, do we have any question here? Any question? I'm open to questions now. The founder of Ello'Quest, and he will get it to you. Thank you so much, Edidion Musoro. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Elijah, for your consistency, for how far you've stayed on this class. And I know you guys have been so consistent. I know there's a lot out here for you people in the Web3 space. But first, I see it wise that you get to learn more and get to understand the concept of all of these things. Literally, basically, you can get all of these things from anywhere, but the founder of Ello'Quest thought it wise to get an academy and place you people on a lot of knowledge. And I really appreciate him for this opportunity where I could get to speak to you and share knowledge on blockchain and Web3 as a whole. Thank you so much for joining in.